Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about music, movies, TV shows, and any other interesting topics. Yo, Michael's like in the corner giving me like the illest side eye. Anyway, today's episode is going to be about the new, I guess, is it sequel? Remake? I don't know what it is.
I think it would be just another story in the universe, I guess. Cause Ellen was mentioned, so it's in the same universe, but the stories aren't related, you know.
Okay, so we're gonna say
another story in the universe, or something.
Yeah, sequel story, whatever. It's called Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, starring The Rock, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and a girl with red hair that I do not know.
Man, I forgot we should have known her name too, because she was
pretty good.
Yeah.
I just have no idea. I know what her character name is. I just don't know who she is. So overall, I admit I walked into Jumanji skeptical as shit. I was like, y'all about to kill my childhood with all this nonsense. I actually thought, one, it was creative, it was funny, and also I liked how they kept to the fact that it was a game. Mm-hmm. They had the lives and all that other stuff, which we'll get into later. And this will be spoiler. You will find spoilers in here. But we're going to be like, spoiler, when we get there.
I'm not. I'm just going to say it. Y'all heard it here. Y'all should have watched the video in order. Don't skip around. We said spoiler.
Dang, he cold. Alright, so yeah. I give this a solid A. I have no complaints about it. I thought the chemistry between all the leads were actually really good. And it was entertaining. It could get a lower grade, but that's just more in my theater experience because there was a child who couldn't shut the hell up throughout the entire movie. But other than that, yeah.
I was gonna say something too. I'm like, nah, never mind. I'm gonna leave it alone. This is a thing about the movie. It's just my opinions on the movie, not my opinions on the theater. So I guess there's that.
So what would you give it?
I gave the movie an A. I honestly had no problem with. I'm not a movie critic. I know people probably be saying, "Oh, it's not in the same spirit of the last one." I get it, guys. It's clearly a different direction they're going with it, and maybe I'm just easy to please. I don't know, but I had fun watching the movie. I thought it had a bunch of good, funny moments. I think one of the funniest run along jokes was what's the name, Bethany and her new penis. And I thought that was one of the funniest parts of the movie. And I was like, you know what? Fine. Clearly it's in a different spirit, but I like where they were going with it.
Alright. There's some we're having a little...
Address it. Go.
I'm going to address it anyway. So, he mentioned Bethany, and I think I should actually give you some background on the movie. Because you probably, who the fuck is Bethany? Depending on whether you saw it or not. Mm-hmm. So... basically, the movie opens up and a man was jogging. He finds a new board game. He's like, oh, son, who's 18, who probably won't care. I found a board game. Check it out. And he checks it out and he's like, who plays board games? Then it magically turns into I don't know, a little Nintendo. I don't know what the hell that. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that game system was. Because damn sure wasn't Nintendo. Or Atari. I don't know what the hell that was. And so he plays, and obviously, if you watch the first one, he gets sucked into the game. Mm-hmm. You skip 20 years forward, and the game gets into the hands of, these 4 high school kids who happen to get detention, and they play to, goof off for detention real quick. And they also get stuck in the game, and then the story begins. Mm-hmm. And you have the characters, the tall black guy, it's Fridge. I don't know his actual real name.
I'm pretty sure they said it too. I'm just it's Fridge to me.
He's Fridge. He eventually becomes his avatar, which is Kevin Hart. Mm-hmm. Then you have Spencer, the nerdy guy who becomes The Rock. Mm-hmm. Then you have Bethany, the hot, cheerleader type, blonde girl. She becomes Jack Black's character, which is Shelly. And then you have Marty. Is it Marty or Martha?
Martha. What kind of girl name is Marty?
What kind of guy name is Shelly?
Surfer Sheldon.
They should have put they would have put Sheldon.
It's a thing.
All right, whatever. Anyway, her name was Martha, and she transformed into the redhead, which I think she's I'm about to say she's the lead from that what you call it, HBO or Netflix show, Kimberly Smith or something like that. But that's a different redhead.
Oh yeah, I think so too. That's not her.
Yeah, that's not her at all. But yeah, she becomes that girl, and they all have different strengths and weaknesses. So, but you could tell based from the trailer anyway. So there's no spoilers yet. So I guess we should get into I don't know if you have any cons for the movie. Like, is there anything you don't like?
I mean, not necessarily nothing I don't like. It's just more a comment on like the expectation that everyone kind of had for it. Like, it's just everyone wanted a new classic, which is kind of oxymoron in itself to say a new classic. But they wanted they saw the word Jumanji and assumed, and in all fairness, so did I. I assumed it's supposed to be like something that's going to be in the same spirit of it. But I ended up watching it and had my mind changed. And those are going to be my closing comments for this, by the way. Like, listen, it's obviously going to be a different movie, but it's also not a bad one to just go see and enjoy your evening out or something like that. It's actually pretty fun, really funny, and I think like everyone handled themselves pretty well. But yeah, other than that.
Okay. I don't think I have any cons per se about it. Yeah, I don't really think off the top of my head. I'll probably get into that. But so I guess what I did like my favorite scene, so we could start there first. My favorite scene of the movie is, now you would think it would be the climax, but I like when they were discovering their strengths and weaknesses. That's literally my favorite scene. Cause Spencer weakness was like none, which is, I mean, I guess cause it's The Rock.
Right.
He don't get no weaknesses like everyone else. But I thought they're like when they first get there and they realize their strengths and weaknesses and everything like that. I thought that was a really funny scene. I don't know why the hell Kevin Hart's character weakness is cake.
Yeah.
And strength and something else. I forgot what the third one. He had 3 weaknesses.
Yeah, he had cake, strength, and speed. I think it was.
Oh, so speed. Which is funny because like 2 of those are the reason he got killed.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Twice.
Yeah, basically. And then you have Bethany's, which was Jack Black's character, which is A.K. Shelley. He was I don't know what his title role is.
Like archaeologist, paleontologist, cartographer, or something along those lines. I'm pretty sure 2 of those are right. I might be wrong about archaeologist, but
I think archaeologist is The Rock's character, Brayson.
Oh right, yeah. I know paleontology and cartography was in the skill set, but I'm missing one other thing.
He was He was one of those.
Yeah,
one of those
right.
Fancy, like doctor things, but yeah. I liked it when she like saw like her face for the first time and was like, oh my god, I'm a middle-aged man. And then I liked that her weaknesses were endurance, and Jack Black has some really good comebacks in there.
Yeah.
And then you had, I guess, the killer of men, the karate killing, like Ruby something. Ruby Roundhouse. She was her weakness was actually a normal one, which in like other games that would be everyone's weakness, but hers was like venom of any kind. Mm-hmm. It could be a snake, it could be anything. As long as it has venom, it would. And the way you die in this game is funny too. But yeah, that is like my favorite scene when they first drop in and they first figure out their weakness. I think that was really good, and it showed the chemistry between the cast. Right. What is your favorite scene?
I think I already spoiled mine, but my favorite scene is when they went to take a pee, and Jack Black character, or Bethany, or Shelly, it's D'Angelo. Sorry, it's Shanique wants to call them. Like they're all like teaching her how to go to the bathroom and like how to use the penis or whatever. And I just thought it was funny because like the theater pretty much erupted right there too, and I was having a good time watching that little exchange. I can't tell you why I think that resonated with me so well, but I thought it was very well handled because I honestly believe Jack Black's character was probably the well translated from the actual kids' characters to the adults or whatever. Because like Jack Black for some reason can carry himself as a female very well somehow. No idea, but that more credit to him for it because he handled everything very well. His voice was a little more high pitched, a lot of sway in his hips because he's trying to he's still Bethany, but I thought that was funny, man. I don't know. I definitely give it to that scene right there. So especially became. I'm sorry, but especially became since it became like a running joke in the movie at like 3 other parts. So yeah.
Okay. Uh, I guess fate. I guess we'll get into favorite characters. So my favorite actually was like, I gotta say, if we're gonna talk about in the game itself, definitely Bethany's character. I thought Jack Black had the best timing, the comedic timing. Even though Kevin Hart was actually good, because I have some side eye usually with Kevin Hart. I hate him normally in movies, but I like him in stand up, but just not in his movies because he gets on my nerves a lot. He's like that short, annoying nigga that won't go away. But he was actually okay with this, and Jack Black actually was really good. He bounced off of everyone good, even Nick Jonas, who he should stop acting, but he was very good with everyone, and I truly believe that he was like a 16-year-old girl trapped in this grown man's body. So definitely favorite character goes to Shelley Oberon.
Mm-hmm.
Some shit with an O.
I just told you. She goes.
I don't think he's right. Though.
Oberon. I remember the name. You didn't even remember Ruby Roundhouse's name. So.
Tell her to me. Hey, there's a Ruby in there, right? Anyway, going back to what I said, Jack Black and Shelley were my favorite character. Bethany's good, like when she's a teenager, but I'm separating them because they're basically two different type of things going on there. What about you? What's your favorite character?
My favorite character, I know you say you're annoyed by him, but my favorite character was actually Kevin Hart. Because I feel like his job was there to just straight up make jokes. Obviously he had some like character development, which was few and far between, but it existed. For the sake of the movie, I'm glad they did give him some of that. Because it would have been a little bit annoying if all he did was like crack jokes and be sarcastic the entire movie all the way through. But I thought it was funny. Like, I thought that, he even had some time to shine in the movie when, like, he got caught the snake and, like, ripped his fangs out. And I was like, okay, I guess that's good for you. I'm glad you're not just, around being slow and useless and getting blown up by cake or trampled by rhinos and whatever. So, I'd give it to Kevin. But my definite close second will be Jack Black character as well. I think he did like I said, translated very well from the kids. Definitely believed he's a little high school girl in a grown man's body.
Okay. And I didn't say Kevin Hart was annoying in this movie. I said in general, that's how I see him in the movie. But yeah, Kevin Hart was actually pretty good. I guess go back. How did you like the intro of the movie? Like, did you think it was a great way to like say, hey, here's the new Jumanji? Because I don't think there's gonna be another one. And I don't, because of what happened at the end, but you never know. That game keep coming back no matter what. Because we still don't know what happened to the original game piece.
Because remember, what they destroyed was the cartridge and not the board itself. So right now we technically don't know where the board is.
Yeah, but the thing is, then the board, and that's also another thing.
It transformed into a cartridge, but I guess the actual I don't know if the casing has anything to do with it. Can make a new? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Like, the only thing I don't understand how the board became a video game.
I think that just what's that thing? Like Ex Machina. Like, it just happened because it happens. Like, it's just plot armor for it. Like, we need a way to make this movie a little more modern. No one's gonna be playing a board game in 2016, 2017. So we're going to have it turn into a cartridge. Which, was modern for 1996. And I guess kind of helped make it look like an ancient relic. Considered today, like they kind of just found it lying around in a dingy basement somewhere. Lord knows how that transition happened from the guy's house to the school basement. I don't know if they donated stuff or something like that, but actually no, I think it was. They picked up off a donation box. Oh, I'm learning things as I'm doing the podcast. The damn board was donated. But yeah, the actual beginning, it was interesting. I guess they weren't really trying to focus too much on it. Like, they spent a very small amount of time, getting the beginning out of the way. But I think it was effective enough to get the movie started. I'm not saying it's as mind blowing as the first one, where it's like, ooh, this is like some kind of magic, board thing that changes reality. No, it's a cartridge now, and you're gonna play the game. and you're gonna get sucked in, and we're gonna start a movie.
Well, if you remember the original had Alan and I forgot Susie or something. Susan play the game. Like they set it up where they're at the party, blah blah, and the kids just play the game, and he gets sucked in, and she freaks the hell out and doesn't finish the game, and then just jumps. And they kind of stay true to that theme, where he gets sucked in the game, Alex, and then it jumps another 20 years. I don't know why it'd be 20 years. They always choose like an old ass time. But I did like the similarities between the original beginning of Jumanji and this one, where it's just like a boy who don't know better start playing the game, and then he gets stuck in there because he can't finish, and he starts hiding out, which is what Alex did, and the same thing what Alan did too. Alright, so what I also wanted to talk about was obviously the game itself. One thing I liked about it was a true spirit of a video game, you know? You had lives, you had strengths, you had weaknesses. You had a place where you can like get stuff to stay healthy. And that's like another thing. Spencer literally said, "Oh, we're supposed to keep our health up." Yet they got nothing to maintain their health.
Very true. The only time that ever happened was when like she transferred like some of her own health into Alex later on to the movie, which we'll get to later, I guess. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, they did not do what Spencer said, and all it did was lead to, you know, Kevin Hart's character blowing the hell up because he ate the cake. Even though, funny thing is, I like that Bethany was dying so much she forgot what cake tastes like, so she called it bread. Right.
That was funny.
It looked like, and I like that Kevin Hart's response was like, "Shut the hell up. No one wants that. That shit looked like bread, though. I ain't gonna lie. It didn't look like pound cake."
It did. That's some thick-ass pound cake, which, don't get me wrong, I guess it comes down to how it's made and all that. 'Cause I'm not about to make this like a chef podcast or nothing like that, but that looked like bread to me. Like, first of all, who's selling pound cake in the bazaar? Like, get out of here.
Exactly. Alright, so what do you got to say about the game before we get into like each level?
I think this game versus the last one, I feel like it was interesting because like you had actual NPCs tell you about the game. The first one, we just had the board, and it was like, you know, some like little small rhyme that told you what was going to happen next, like, you know, something to do with lions or monkeys or alligators or whatever the heck it may be. All you got was like a little rhyme, and then you survived it, and that's pretty much how you got, you know, progression in that game. In this one, I guess like they mapped it out a little bit better for you. Like, you know, you have like the guy who introduces you to the game, gives you some backstory on the game. Heck, they even put a cutscene in the game which Spencer called out. I thought that was useful. I thought the map was useful. I thought the fact that only Shelly was the only one able to read the map was useful. And I was like, okay, I get it. You guys are trying to go from like a more modernized game experience, which makes sense. Like, yeah, I guess if people, you know, kind of have questions about the first one, like, it's not really explaining much. All I did was start playing the game and, you know, make sure everyone rolled the dice and move forward a certain amount of spots, and that was it. Like, we don't know what the theme of the game is other than, like, you know, a bunch of jungle shit going crazy. But I don't know. It was a little weird. I'm not mad at it at all. But it handled itself well. I think it did a good enough job for me to enjoy myself in the movie. And is this something I want to see again? Not 100% on it. I mean, not the story format for the video game anyway. Because if they change it around later, you know, I'll be completely fine with it. There'd be zero problem for me because this one worked. The translation worked well. The last one came out in the 90s, I believe. So, you know what? For all it's worth, I'm not really mad at it.
I completely agree with a lot of what you said. But here's my thing. I think that's what made the first one truly like scary to like little kids, because, you know, they just said, "Hey, you ready? Just go. Roll this dice," and you just thrown in. Which also explains why Alan couldn't beat the game.
Right.
And then, like, also, this game was also kind of effed up because you needed all 5 to beat the game. You couldn't actually beat the game by yourself. So if you were ever the first one by yourself, which unfortunately Alex was, then you just stuck there, bro.
You need to find 4 more of your friends to get stuck with you, or else you're kind of just there now.
That's true. Okay. So Well, the first level was the motorcycle.
No, it was technically one of the hippo. Technically, the hippo was the deep water or something like that.
Oh yeah, the hippo one. Now, that level was funny because they barely survived that. Now I admit, it also has like one of like kind of my top scenes, which is where Shelly loses the first life, where she literally gets eaten by the hippo.
Yeah.
And like if you're a little kid, I think that would probably freak you the hell out. I was like, oh, we really gonna have Jack Black get eaten by a hippopotamus?
Yeah, cause like a lot of times when people think about hippos, they don't think about them looking mean, and this one was a mean looking hippo. And it's like it took its time chewing through Shelly. Like we just saw a movie where people also got chewed up, but I think this one's almost worse, just with less blood.
And it's real.
Yeah, there's that, I guess.
But yeah, I thought that was good. They barely survived that. And then that's where Shelly lost one of their lives. And then I think everyone else was fine.
Yeah, and everyone else didn't have a problem. Yeah.
Because they were kind of initially freaking out. They was like, oh my god, this is my body. And they couldn't figure out. And then, surprise, someone was hungry.
Right. Look behind you, man. I'm just listen. They're bad friends. You got 3 people behind you that couldn't see a hippo sneaking up on you. Nah, me and my friends got to talk about why the hell I just got caught. Cause y'all can definitely see a 2-ton hippo coming up out of water to eat me. Somebody could have given me the heads up.
Okay, and then the second one was now the fighting den or fighting roar, mighty roar. Something with roar in it, but. That's when they basically had to fight, like, I guess, a weird motorcycle gang.
Well, yeah, like the guys who serve under, what's the main bad guy's name?
A nigga with a weird eye.
Yeah. He likes bugs and birds and stuff. But yeah, they're like his henchmen pretty much. And they're like all on motorcycles, and I thought that was funny. Cause like that's where he's like Kevin Hart's weakness, like, he can't run fast, and he's not very strong. And I think that's the first time he even uses the backpack.
Yeah.
So there was also that. And I think it's weird. I think they went through level 1 first before they met up with Mr. Billingsby, the NPC who tells them about the game. Yep. Who, I guess, not a really big part of the movie, but I guess he played his purpose. The guy who introduces the game and lets you out when you're done.
Exactly. So yeah, the second level I thought was really fun. And that's when you finally see Ruby's like ability for the first time, because she kicks the guys off the motorcycle.
That was an awesome scene too. Yeah,
it was a really good like shot, and how obviously it's not really the actress, but they made it look like you couldn't even tell, because you could still see her face and everything. So if she actually did a good job, whoever the stunt person, good job as well. And then you had the third scene, which is the bazaar, right? And that's where we find the little amulet thing, which they never really use.
Yeah, I guess it was supposed to be about the elephant clue, but like both the elephant clues later on were kind of useless. Like one was an actual elephant, but another one was like a statue of an elephant, and it said to climb, and no one really climbed. Like I guess the rock ended up, we'll get to that point, but no one really ever used it for any purpose to the movie that was important. So so I don't know, kind of wasted material there, I guess.
Yeah, and then that's where Kevin's character loses his first life too.
Yeah.
With the fake ass cake. I guess fake ass bread. More like it. And then that's also his first real big shining moment as like, this is what I can do, because Kevin Hart's character is a zoologist.
Yeah.
And he defangs the snake.
Yeah, the black mamba, as they were shouting at it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? It reminds me of the show that me and Michael were watching on Netflix, 72, Deadly Animals, because I think that snake was on there, or at least mentioned casually. Or a snake that looked like it.
I know Fertile Lance is like the one that we saw the most of, but I don't remember seeing Black Mamba, but who knows?
There was another, I know there was a rattlesnake, and then there was like a third snake on there.
I feel like that game was supposedly supposed to take place in like South America somewhere. Even though there were rhinos, I'm pretty sure rhinos don't appear in South America. But it's a video game, so just
I thought it was Africa. Like the African
I mean, maybe I don't know. I got more Peru vibes out of it, only because like the waterfalls and like the actual like
and then
strong
the statues, right?
and the statues as well, right? So I just kind of figured. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but
they didn't tell us. It was like a jungle.
I mean, yeah, it's a video game. You can mess around with the rules for a video game. Like throw a freaking like polar bear in there if you really want to. It's a video game. You can do whatever the hell you feel like.
Yeah, so that's where they do the challenge and they do the snake thing and they get that elephant thing that turns out to be actually fucking useless.
Yeah.
But it doesn't ruin the movie.
The trailer made it look like Bethany had like a big part to play right there. And then
I mean, she tried.
She flinched hard. Like you were useless, Bethany.
That's a snake coming out your face. If a snake come out your face, are you flinching?
She said she was about to have a staring contest. They stared for a grand total of 4.5 seconds. Probably. I'm not counting exactly. I'm just exaggerating, but still.
Hey, she tried. Leave Bethany alone.
Try harder.
Leave my favorite character. Alright. Only in video game form though.
This is where my favorite character starts milking this whole thing for like the next half an hour in the movie. Like, I'm a zoologist, I defang snakes. Y'all should just, like he just kept hyping himself up about that, which like, fine, well deserved, because the only time you get hyped up. But still, that was a funny scene as well. After the fact,
he had another moment.
I mean, yeah, he did have another one too. But like, this is the one that yeah, you're right. This is very first one that brought me into him, I guess.
Yeah, and then that's where you meet Alex, and he
have some escape.
Yes, and you can tell he played the game a lot because he knew where all the traps were and everything like that. And only thing, this game has the worst possible weaknesses you probably could have.
Yeah.
In this. It's like every Jumanji game.
Yeah.
Gives you just shitty like thing. They want you to lose so you can say trapped in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I actually have a question. What if the game gets destroyed while you're in it? You're stuck in there forever?
Maybe. I'm assuming so. Cause then you got nothing to get, unless you you get released immediately. But that's assuming someone either knows what the thing is or they did it by accident, I guess.
Questions. Alright. Next one is the airplane mission, I guess. Airplane level. And
Martha's time to shine again.
Yes. Ruby, which is another favorite scene by my character, where my character tries to teach Ruby how to flirt. No. It failed. It didn't work out too well. And eventually I told Michael, I was like, why don't you just beat him up? Distract him and then just beat their ass. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
She shouldn't flirt no more. She shouldn't flirt no more.
This is oddly enough where like her little love line comes in, love storyline comes in with Spencer.
I mean, but it started when they were human though.
I mean, yeah, it did. I'm talking about like, in the sense of like, in the video game, like it actually comes out into like the field. Like I think Fridge was the first one to say something about like, hey, do y'all want to get a room or something like that? And, let her know that, she might like you. Do something about it.
That's true. Spencer and Martha are like really cute, but their first kiss, well, you know what? It's not their first kiss. It's Bravestone and the other one, because they didn't really touch, but that was a horrible kiss.
Okay, that was a bit cringy. Yeah, y'all know that weird TLC video like from TLC channel that came out with like the two virgins who are kissing at their marriage? It was essentially that, but in slow motion with The Rock. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
He missed her lips. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, I don't know what he was aiming for. There's a point where his tongue was out of his face, but he wasn't hitting nothing, and that confused me. But you know what? I guess they did a good job making it look weird, because I couldn't even watch the whole thing.
Anyway, so yeah, that whole storyline with Spencer and Martha came out, and then they get past that, and then here's the part. His favorite character, like the dumbass as that character is, drops the stone.
Yep.
But you know what? I like how he was very useful after that.
I mean, listen, gotta take him for the team sometimes, okay?
He was not asked to take. They just pushed that nigga out.
Listen, and he handled it very well, okay? He didn't really hold any grudges, and technically he was owed that, since he did push off Bravestone earlier and cost him his first life. So you know what? Screw it. And we're missing the part that Martha also did lose a life earlier as well with the Venom.
Oh yeah, she got bit during the first part.
Right. Some like leech or snake in the water or something like that. I forgot what it was.
Yeah. And then I guess the final mission, the climax, the boss battle, which is not really a boss battle, it's just
The final level.
yeah. They basically got to the Jaguar, and then they have to put the stone in the eye and say Jumanji, and then they could leave the game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Bravestone loses his second life because he falls down and gets eaten. Like, and I guess they couldn't show it because it's still a kids movie.
Yes.
Even though they showed the hippopotamus eating Bethany.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's one thing for to get eaten whole, so you don't have to see like the actual like chewing and crunching of bones. It's another thing if it's the actual like jaguar, individually ripping pieces of your body off. So I guess that makes sense. And just as a little fun fact here, he's the only character to land on his feet when he dies. Because in both of his deaths, when he respawned, he lands on his feet. Everyone else either landed on Kevin Hart or just somewhere else. Which I thought was weird, but it's pretty interesting.
That's true. Bravestone is basically beast mode in this story. Yeah. He's one of those overpowered characters that you hate, unless you playing with them.
Right. I mean, they made the game real easy, but like that's definitely what his role was. Like, I can punch people through the roof and into the damn stratosphere, which essentially happened back in the bazaar when he was having his fight scene. So I was like, all right, clearly you're the only one equipped to do all this fighting. But well, I'm lying. Ruby Roundhouse too. Because her fight scenes was pretty dope too, so I can't even take that away from her.
Yeah, and you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, that also makes the game even more effed up. You know why? Because let's say only Bravestone got in there, he couldn't read the map to find anything.
Yeah, that's very true.
And then he wouldn't have his valet, so he wouldn't be able to get any of the weapons.
The boomerang, which he used just once, was like a specialty, but and like the what's it called? The volcanic stare or something like that. Like what's it called?
Smoldering stare.
Smoldering intensity.
Yeah.
There was that. I don't know. It got used like 3 times, and I guess it was like a thing for LaRock, because LaRock can definitely pull that off. But still, I just thought it was weird.
Look, some of them strengths and weaknesses were just fucking weird. But I think that was supposed to be the charm of the game. Mm. Yeah, but the game is like OD mode. Even like peace mode characters can't get through the game by themselves.
Right.
So it's a ripoff. But I think that's supposed to be really interesting. Even though if it'd be nice if they give you like the computer versions of the characters.
Right.
But this game was not about that. It's like if you gonna be in there, you doing it by yourself or with these people. Mm-hmm. So that means if Alex wasn't in the game, they wouldn't be able to fly.
Yep. Yeah, everybody plays a part.
You gotta do what you gotta do. And I guess that's also something I really like. I like that everyone that was important, even though like Alex was important, and like I wish he was played by a different actor because I did not like Nick Jonas.
I don't like Nick Jonas. I was okay with that, to be honest, but that's just me.
I guess for me, like he was fine when he was like leading them and really calm, but when he was supposed to be devastated that like it's been 20 years, I didn't buy in that at all. It was like he just missed a meal or something. It didn't seem like he was like, oh no, I missed 20 years of my life. Like when. But, Nick Jonas is also not Robin Williams. So that's not a fair comparison at all. But he didn't, convey the, sentiment that he missed 20 years of his life. It was just like, oh, I'm going to be sad for a minute. And then I'm just going to go back into it.
Right.
He didn't really... He mentioned it a little bit with Bethany. But other than that, it was just nothing.
Right.
But he wasn't... Because he had a strong cast, you really didn't notice. I think you would have noticed if he was like a true lead. You would have noticed, and you'd be like, this is bull. But he's okay.
It also depends on how it was written too. Like he could have had more time to grieve about it. But they're moving on. Cause we need to fly this plane right now because dudes are coming at us with guns, and the plane. Sorry, not the plane, but the helicopter was also damaged during one little scenes when they're escaping. So
I mean,
I guess they just use it as an excuse to move on from the whole shock and awe thing about I'm stuck here for 20 years.
I'm just saying, even the little glimpse where he was supposed to be, he had no facial expression. It looked like the same one he had the whole entire movie.
I didn't see that. I'm pretty sure. I think he changed up enough. I think he changed his face and his expression and all that. But I just think he changed it briefly. That's my only complaint. But it's not even I'm just nitpicking at that point for that one. I don't really feel no kind of way.
Yeah, he didn't do shit for me. But like I said, it was a strong enough cast that you didn't really care. That's how I feel about it. And so like overall, the final scene, the climax of the movie, fighting the bad guy, it was okay. I kind of wanted it to be, I don't know, a little bit more badass. I guess the best part was actually when she killed herself just so she could drop and give him the actual stone. I thought that was really cool. Yes. But other than that, there was like, I don't know. I thought the scene could be better, but it doesn't hurt the movie. It's realistic because I think the game's all supposed to be cheesy in a weird way.
And she's the only one who kind of died the same way twice because technically it was Venom that killed her both times. Everyone else, even though like it wasn't necessarily their weakness, like they died a certain like random way the second time around. Like
Well, think about Kevin Hart's character. First was the cake, but he died the second time because he wasn't fast enough to outrun them. So he did drive them too for his weakness. He wasn't about to outrun
rhinos even on regular speed anyway. I think they're just.
But look how fast the Rock runs.
I don't think he was going to outrun the rhinos on foot.
I don't know.
Granted, you know what? They do make him overpowered in the movie, so they probably could have rode him in like that. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm just saying Kevin Hart's character died. It's funny because Bravestone, every time he died, was like natural, like human ways to die.
Fall off a cliff or get eaten by a jaguar.
Right. Bethany died saving someone else, and she got sneak attacked by a hippo.
Right.
And then the other girl died from being poisoned twice. And then Kevin's character, couldn't beat the rhinos, and then he ate cake.
Yep.
That's kind of a lame way to die, but
I think it was funny. But yeah, I don't know. Those people in the bazaar weren't scared enough. I'm like, a bomb just went off, and y'all just acting like someone dropped a glass of milk or something like that. Like, no, a bomb just went off.
A person exploded, and we don't care.
Yeah. But yeah, also got to mention, like, every time trouble starts in this movie, some drums play. Like, I can't even listen to drums anymore without thinking, some shit's about to go down. I'm either about to get shot at or trampled. Or some other random, random act of God that might kill me. So, yeah, I don't know. Me and drums got a bad relationship now.
But, like, for me, I thought the final scene could be better. But I guess it fits the tone of the game. Mm-hmm. And so, I guess, final question before we get into our closing remarks. Would you play Jumanji? Or Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle? Third option. The second question is, would you rather be in the first Jumanji game or the reinvented video game version of it?
This is including me, like real deaths?
Same rules.
First one or second? If I do the second one, if I had a team. If I had like a full team of people, I'd do the second one. I think the first one, nah, son. I think you died like one time, you're just dead. So.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part. For me, actually, I would do the second one only because I felt it was you had more help.
Yeah.
Because you weren't just thrown into surprises, so I would do the second one. Would I play? Absolutely not.
On my own volition? Hell no. I better touch it by accident. Hell no. As soon as I see anything with the word Jumanji on it, I'm putting it in underground. I'm not touching it. No, sir.
I think they did like little fake board games of it, but I've never played them either. Yeah. I don't trust it either.
They exist, but I don't know. I want to take that chance and be the one unlucky person to find the real ass Jumanji game. Like, congrats, you got 3 lives. Figure it out. Like, no, that's not for me. Get me out of here.
Nah. Okay. So closing remarks. I say see it. I think even if you're not even if you're a fan of the original, you're still gonna enjoy it. And also, I think for its time, it's just as good as the original, even though I still prefer the original.
Of course, yeah.
And it's fun. You could take kids to see it, but hopefully they don't cry through the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
And you'll laugh, and it has a lot of good hints towards the original, but it's still its own creative movie, and that's what I like. It doesn't feel like it's a remake. It feels like it's a spin on the original concept, but still its own movie.
Like a more modernized take on it, yeah.
Your closing remarks?
My closing remarks are fine. It's like, I enjoyed the movie. I wasn't going in there expecting like a blockbuster or something like that, but it's a movie I enjoyed nonetheless. It's like, they made things more over the top. Like, they included like, guys with a bunch of guns or whatever. I'm not counting the monkeys with guns in the first one. But, like, guys with guns and like, helicopter chases and an actual story for it. Like I thought like the structure is very different but very workable, and I feel like the cast, the team of like The Rock and Kevin Hart, they definitely went obviously a more comedic route for it, which I think was a fine touch. Like granted, like the I guess depending on who you're asking, it might be some adult jokes in there with the whole penis gag, but I think it was funny enough for me to want to watch and not regret spending my money on it. So yeah.
All right, guys. So let us know what you guys think of Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Do you think we were tripping, or was it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's a disrespect to the original? We want to know what you guys think. You can leave comments, like, subscribe, or follow, depending on which social media app you're using. You can find us on Twitter at EchoU Podcast. And you can find us on any other social media apps, including iTunes and SoundCloud, and I think Facebook at Echo Underground Podcast. And we'll see you guys next episode.
See ya.